This is the lady at 46 South Rose. 46 South Rose.
Station one call, retone that please. 10-4. Got the floor to go to that location also. This is 1-9, is that correct?
Sorry, one last four?
My name is Bob Towsey.
I'm Matthew Crump. I'm from Morganton, North Carolina, 20 years old, and I'm a mass communication major and a creative writing minor.
My name is Larissa Carr. I am 25. I am originally from Brevard, North Carolina, and my major is International Studies and Mass Communication.
My name is Sarah, and I'm a junior here at UNC Asheville. I'm a political science major and a legal studies minor, and I'm from Portland, Maine, but I was born in Texas originally.
Well, I know quite a bit about death row and the death penalty from when I practiced law. A significant part of my practice was criminal defense. My understanding it's very similar to my home state of Maryland, and they have not had and North Carolina has not had an execution since 2006.
And I know that it costs a lot of taxpayers' money to keep someone on death row.
In 1993, there was the case of Kirk Bloodsworth. Kirk was the first person to be exonerated of murder as a result of genetic DNA. And that got me thinking to how many people are on death row that shouldn't be there. Now, Kirk spent 8 years in prison, and we were able to give him his freedom and give him some compensation for that time. However, if he had been executed, what do we say? Oh, oops, I'm sorry. You know, my only qualm with the death penalty is that we can never be 100% confident that the person convicted actually committed the crime, and have a great respect for the sanctity of human life in each and every form. So unless we can be 100% certain, which will never happen, I cannot support the death penalty.
I don't think it personally aligns with how I think.
If the people who have been convicted on death row, if they could instead be evaluated by psychologists or psychiatrists, and instead are questioned as to the motivations behind what they did, I feel like society can learn a lot more from that instead of just sentencing them to death.
I support the death penalty, which I know a lot of people in Asheville and a lot of people on this campus don't, but I think that I would consider to be appropriate because there are people that have committed, heinous crimes against society, and we're spending, taxpayer dollars and money that could be going to other programs and other things.
Yeah, because a human life is a human life regardless of the gender. I think, assuming that they committed the same crime, then I would still think it's inhumane whether they're a male or a female.
I think that there are humane ways of executing the death penalty. I think that in the past it hasn't necessarily been the most humane thing with, like the chair or hanging people necessarily. I think that there are ways in which it can definitely be improperly done, and you could honestly die of natural causes before you're ever even the first one in line. And so I think that I could see the death penalty being abolished in this state in the future, but I don't know if it'll be, necessarily something that happens quickly.
I'm Pam Long, chair of the psychology department. I've been here 27 years. There have been about 17 or 18 wrongful convictions in North Carolina in the last 10 years. If you're talking about death penalty cases. So I think that's caused people to be a little more reluctant to sentence people to die. The other thing that we probably should take some credit for is there are about 50 of us that do this kind of work, and we're much better trained, much more skilled than we were 20 years ago, and I think we're just doing a better job as well. Every year I say, oh yeah, it'll be another 10 years, but I've been saying that for 20. I think there may be a time coming sometimes, trying to be the optimist. I think it'll take another decade at the very least. But, in effect, in North Carolina, we're not executing people, so we're still sentencing people to die, but we're not really carrying out the executions. We haven't, as you know, haven't done that since 2006. So, in effect, we're in a moratorium right now. Been doing this is my 20th year. And it's the kind of job where you can work. I mean, I work another job, obviously, so it's the kind of thing where I can do part-time. So I think I'll keep on going. I had always sort of vowed to myself I would keep going until the death penalty was abolished in the state. I don't think I'm going to make that now. That'll be after I'm dead, I guess. But my plan had been to stick with it until it sails off into the sunset. It'd be a good thing to do. Be fun for me. But I don't know if I can make it another decade. We'll see.